Outlast is one of Netflix's newest reality hits, and it shows contestants rapidly turning on each other. With only 16 contestants, the goal of every player is to make it to the end, in order to collect the $1 million cash prize. While some tried to play upstanding games, others chose to embrace the chaos by stabbing fellow cast members in the back. The premise was straightforward. The group of contestants was dropped into the Alaskan wilderness, where there were actual bears to contend with. As with many survival shows, each player was left with the clothes on their backs, and a few items in their sleeping bags. Unlike shows like Alone or Survivor, there was one Outlast rule, which was that a player couldn't win unless they were a part of one of the 4 teams: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, or Delta. The Game Master wanted to experiment, to see how multiple lone wolves would work together when forced to. 5. Outlast. Thief in the Night. However, the idea of working as one unit didn't go over well with Team Alpha, who quickly got ruthless, believing that only the strong would survive. In a sneaky move planned by the Alpha team, Justin Court came up with the idea of going undercover and stealing Team Delta's sleeping bags. Delta members were their neighbors on the river. Jill Ashok and Amber Asay had no problems with the plan, and encouraged their teammates to carry it out. Justin took it upon himself to construct his own ghillie suit, which took him less time to make than his 3-day river boat. Armed with courage and camouflage wear, Justin snuck into Team Delta's camp. He crept around while Don Nelson and Joel Hungate were out berry picking. In a move that was decidedly shady, Justin took the sleeping bags on a very cold night, putting Team Delta in a grim situation. 4. Outlast. Jill Amber Gaslight. Justin. Team Alpha was down to 3 players, and more than halfway through the game, Jill and Amber were getting tired of having a man in their camp. Not only did Jill think Justin was a small man, but the Kentucky native also didn't think he was that smart. Instead of diplomatically talking out their differences, the skilled archer decided to gaslight Justin with the help of her best friend, Amber. Even though Justin made some slimy moves, it was hard to watch him being plotted against. Jill and Amber shared with Outlast cameras that he had lied about farting in the tent the previous night. They also thought he was eating extra portions of food, essentially accusing him of stealing their shares. The worst accusation came when Jill revealed that she had left her piles of clothes in a particular arrangement, so she'd know if they'd been rummaged through. As the women bullied Justin, he came up with an elaborate story about having an accident in his pants. They laughed Justin out of camp, but he got to keep his sleeping bag and Jill's underwear. 3. Outlast. Justin gets kicked out in a move that may have been karma. Justin ended up being kicked out by Team Charlie, but not before his former teammate Jill had the last say. After being bullied and accused of stealing Team Alpha's food, Justin made his way across the river to Team Charlie. At first, Seth Luker, Paul Priest, and Nick Radney agreed to welcome the outcast, since they believed that the revolt would shake Jill up. However, their plan backfired. It was shocking when Jill wrote a letter to Team Charlie, outlining all of Justin's wrongdoings. The clincher was the fact that Justin tore up Team Alpha's camp, instead of just walking away with his stuff. The men of Team Charlie, who played a pretty straightforward game, couldn't risk angering Jill. They ultimately decided to force Justin to pull his flare gun trigger. 2. Outlast. Amber pushes Javier if sabotaging and stealing supplies wasn't enough. Amber and Jill show just how mean they would get in order to boost their chance of winning the prize money. After Javier Colon refused to be a part of Team Alpha's dark plans, the two women turned on him. While Javier tried to help Team Delta cross the river, Jill and Amber took it upon themselves to ransack his shelter and destroy his raft. Javier tried his best to defend himself, which resulted in a tussle with Amber. The former drug addict turned yoga instructor yelled at him, calling Javier a weak-ass mother f************. While Amber tried to play an unconvincing victim role, Javier eventually gave up, as he didn't want to stoop to their level. Earlier on in the game, Jill and Amber both claimed that they had seen the worst that humanity had to offer. Sadly, instead of learning from their experience, the two women were okay with pushing hate and manipulation onto others. 1. Outlast. Javier gets kicked out in one of the show's most heartbreaking moments. Outlast fans watched as Javier had to withdraw from the game. The San Francisco native was the front-runner to win the whole show, but after being attacked by Team Alpha and ignored by Team Charlie, he had no other choice but to leave the competition. Without question, Javier played one of the cleanest games, so his withdrawal didn't seem very fair. At the time, members of Team Charlie, who went on to win the competition, claimed that there wasn't enough room for Javier, noting that they wanted to enhance their chances of winning the prize. Javier didn't beg or plead, but was surprised when Team Charlie said no. Paul revealed that he had an alliance with Jill and Team Alpha, hinting that accepting Javier could have been detrimental to their gameplay. With Season 1 over, producers will have to take a look at adding a few rules for Season 2. If they do, there might not be so many backstabbing moments in the game. For now, though, the dirty Outlast players are back in the real world, and dealing with the consequences of their actions.
Love in the modern world is fake when love was meant for joy too. When I find you, I realize that somehow we lie. Love in the modern world it is fake when love was meant for